Superintendent Craig Hawkins. Hawkins is spelled Hawkins.
Craig, what can we expect on the weekend?
Yeah, okay, we can see the lifting of the restrictions tonight at midnight, which will allow a little more social gathering, and also the lifting of restrictions on people who can visit homes. Additionally, we see business houses and the like being able to accept visitors up to 10 within their premises. So we're looking forward to that. From a policing perspective, I think this is a wonderful thing, although we do still have a commitment to policing the Chief Health Officer's directives around the 5 people within homes and also 10 in residence and in public space. It's very important probably to remember that the coronavirus is still very much alive and well. It's just been very successful up to date, keeping the virus out of Queensland. But if these restrictions aren't complied with, then there's every likelihood that the restrictions will come back, and that's the last thing any of us want to see.
With the people being able to visit homes more freely this weekend,
Yep.
we heard in the Premier's press this morning, it's not an open slather for house parties. Do you want to get that message across?
That's very much correct. It is one thing that we are focusing on from a police perspective, that although we are the health directive has been lifted to 5 persons from different residences going to a home, it is not an invitation for house parties, and that will absolutely be in contravention to the directive. So it is a very important point to make.
So what will police do around that?
Well, we do have the opportunity to issue infringements, and if there is a blatant disregard to the directive, then of course we have very little option but to issue those fines of just a little in excess of $1,300 for the individual and $6,500 for businesses.
We have people coming up from possibly Brisbane this weekend with 150K. Do you have a message for them?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same message. They're certainly welcome on the Sunshine Coast. However, the social distancing rule applies to everyone. It is only day trips at this stage. So we certainly invite them up here, but if they can also be very mindful of the restrictions and the requirement to maintain that social distancing and comply with the health directives, then we'd be very grateful for that.
Do you have any areas on the coast that you might be focusing on this weekend? Alex Hill, the Bolsa, that kind of thing?
Yeah, the shopping centres and those very popular locations are the obvious ones for us. And we have seen in recent times the shopping centres particularly where people have been getting a little bit too comfortable with the gathering in groups. I'd like to remind people that particularly in those locations that we will have a police presence. So please to abide by the restrictions at all times.
What role do the business owners and stuff have to play in this too to help you guys as well and sort of try and police it themselves as well a bit? Is that?
Yeah, everyone's got a role to play. It is up until now we've had great support from the community and even the business houses. But we are very pleased to see that some of the venues are opening. But we also are asking for the community support to ensure that we don't go backwards and end up restricting the old restrictions that we're just lifting have to be re-invoked.
And people aren't obviously flouting the rules. Are you still having that educational approach?
Very much so. It is a common sense approach that we are taking. We've adopted the principle that if somebody is blatantly disregarding those directives, or alternatively if they're going to put somebody else at risk, then we will take enforcement action. But because of the support that we have had to date, we've been very thankful for that, and we've obviously taken a very tolerant approach around enforcement.
We know council officers are going to play a role in monitoring health in certain areas. What would be the warning to people? There's obviously a bit of concern that they might probably abuse.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to answer, but like I keep on reinforcing, is it's really everyone's responsibility to ensure the virus does not get into the community. We have community transmission. So the council officers are simply doing a job to make sure the safety of everyone in Queensland is being maintained. So, and I support them in what they're doing.
What sort of pressure does this put on your resourcing for sort of general duties too? Do you have more hands on deck than you would say this weekend?
We have certainly additional police out and about doing the job around the health directives, but generally what we've done is diverted resources from elsewhere to focus on this particular issue.
We've just heard from the Premier this morning as well, they're going to open up Fraser Island for day trips. So a lot of people continue to travel up there. I guess what's a road message?
Yeah, well, with the opening of the restrictions, we do expect to see a few more vehicles on the road. In recent times, as I'm sure you're aware, the road enforcement activities of police were reinvigorated or re-established. So we will have speed cameras out there. We will have our road policing command out there. But like I say, we've had great support and cooperation from the public up until now, and I expect that will continue.
What sort of communication have you had with licensed venues and things like that too? Are they in a position where they might start to reopen doors yet, or are you also working closely with them on when that starts to roll out?
Yeah. Well, there's been the three-step plan that's been advertised and circulated from the health, Queensland Health, and also government. So venues do have the option to open to people up to 10, and some of them are making a decision around whether that's financially viable for them. So it really is a decision for themselves. But again, we're very pleased to see that everything is starting to open up.
A bit easier with 10 blokes in a pub to police for you guys normally than on Asher Street, wouldn't it?
Well, the licensed premises are generally very, very good. So 10 people in a pub certainly makes it a touch easier, probably more so for them than us.
I'm good. Anything else you wanted to get across?
No, thanks very much.